6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The President emphasizes the importance of introducing an educational method with the sole objective of establishing a technically equipped skilled workforce in the country under the new normal condition. Sri Lanka expects around $5 billion income from the gem and jewellery industry within the next 4 years. It is reported that the 2-month-old infant who died at Mathura Base Hospital has been identified as another corona victim. Sri Lanka's confirmed COVID-19 cases cross 51,000. Sri Lanka reports 512 more COVID-19 recoveries. Groundbreaking day for Colombo Stock Exchange. In news overseas, Australia rebukes Google for blocking local content. And in sports news, timely Joe Root century sees England tighten their grip. Those were the headlines, and now more to the details of the local news. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa emphasized the importance of introducing an education method with the sole objective of establishing a technically equipped skilled labour force under the new normal condition. The President also said a national education policy planning to expedite the development process focusing the expected economic goals has been completed so far. The President made these remarks while addressing the awards ceremony for the degree holders at the 16th Benedict Catholic Institute in Negombo this afternoon. This diploma program commenced under the guidance of His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjith in the year 2015 with the sole purpose of meeting the employment requirements of the 21st century. It is also reported that many students have enrolled to this education program. It should be noted that the UGC has recognized this degree program. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says the country expects around $5 million income from the gem and jewellery industry within the next 4 years. Many countries are challenged reviving this industry. However, Sri Lanka managed to rebuild the industry with a clear vision. The Premier also said establishing a gem tower in Ratnapura has been a promise pledged in the Saubhagya Dagma manifesto. The Prime Minister made these remarks while addressing a function through video conference technology to lay the foundation stone for the construction of the tower today. It is reported that the 2-month-old infant who died at the Mathura Base Hospital has been identified as another corona victim. This has been confirmed after the PCR test was conducted on the infant's body. The infant was earlier admitted to Kotavilla Treatment Centre. With this death, there are 3 deaths reported in the Mathura district so far. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And we continue with more local news. The Epidemiology Unit of the Ministry of Health confirms that another 512 patients are recovered from COVID-19 and discharged from hospitals, increasing the total number of recoveries in the country to 44,259. The unit said that within the last 24 hours, a total of 670 positive cases have been identified, 512 recoveries and 4 deaths have been reported. The total count of COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka reached 51,219 as 320 more persons were tested positive for the virus. However, 6,709 active cases are still under medical care at selected hospitals and treatment centres across the country. The death toll, meanwhile, stands at 251 at present. The All-Share Price Index, ASPI, of the Colombo Stock Exchange gained 291.34 points today, marking the highest daily points gained in its history. The ASPI closed at 7,734.57 points, the highest since February 2011, gaining 3.19% from the previous day of trading. The previous highest daily points gained in the ASPI was recorded in February 15, 2011, when the index gained 255 points within a single day. The SLP SL20 closed at 2,902.98 points today with a gain of 120.82, that is a 4.34%. Colombo Stock Exchange turnover for the day was 12.46 billion rupees, while it also set a new record for the most traded in the day with 60,818. The previous best recorded on Wednesday the 13th was 51,862 trades within that day. The names of the selected and appointed candidates under the Sri Lanka Teaching Services 3-1B grade are listed in the website of the Education Ministry. These names are exhibited in the official website of the Ministry, www.moe.gov.lk. These candidates will be posted to the national and provincial level schools. The Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, which conducts Ratana Sutra Pirith program island-wide Viharayas, will conduct tomorrow's event at the historic Kundasale Sri Veera Parakrama Narendra Singh Rajamaha Viharaya. This will be the 83rd program of the series. This will be aired live through the Sinhala National Service, City FM and other regional services of the SLBC. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The President emphasizes the importance of introducing an education method with the sole objective of establishing a technically equipped skilled labour force in the country under the new normal condition. Sri Lanka expects around $5 million income from the gem and jewellery industry within the next 4 years. It is reported that the 2-month-old infant who died at the Mathura Base Hospital has been identified as another corona victim. Sri Lanka's confirmed COVID-19 cases cross 51,000. Sri Lanka reports 512 more COVID-19 recoveries. Record-breaking day for Colombo Stock Exchange. And that was the local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The main news story for tonight, a group of Sri Lankans left Japan to work abroad with the support of Foreign Employment Bureau. This 16-member group of Sri Lankans will be employed at IM Japan organization. These members are provided job opportunities without any fee. They have been selected through an interview process and undergone a training for 4 months period. This facility was interrupted in the past due to corona pandemic situation. However, the foreign employment procedures recommenced after a mutual MOU between Sri Lanka and Japan was signed. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And in Watchlight tonight, the consumers complain about the price hikes of certain essential goods. Some errant traders have increased the prices arbitrarily. They say that the price hike is done due to various reasons, including the transportation cost and unnecessary overheads due to COVID-19 situation. As a result, low-income families are affected. This is for the attention of the Consumer Affairs Authority. When inquired, the CAA officials say some errant traders used to increase prices during festive season. The Consumer Affairs Authority has identified such traders and proper legal action will be taken against them, the CAA added. And that came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Headlines of the world news. Australia rebukes Google for blocking local content. Indonesian earthquake, Sulawesi hospital among the collapsed buildings. North Korea unveils new submarine launched missile. Those are the headlines, and now we move on to the details of the world news. The Australian government has urged Google to focus on paying for Australian content instead of blocking it, after media reports said that Australian news websites were not showing up in searches. Google confirmed it was blocking the sites for a small number of users. The search engine said it was conducting experiments to determine the value of its services to Australian news outlets. Google, Facebook and other tech companies are fighting the Australian government over plans to make them pay for news content. Rescuers are searching through the rubble of a partially collapsed Indonesian hospital after an earthquake struck the island of Sulawesi, killing at least 34 people. The 6.2 magnitude quake this morning came just hours after earlier of a smaller quake. That hundreds of people were injured and thousands displaced by the quake. Indonesia has a history of devastating earthquakes and tsunamis, with more than 2,000 killed in a 2018 Sulawesi quake. 8 people died when the 5-story Mitra Manakara hospital in Mamuju partially collapsed, officials said. About 60 people were safely evacuated from the hospital. North Korea has unveiled a new type of submarine-launched ballistic missile described by the state media as the world's most powerful weapon. Several of the missiles were displayed at a parade overseen by leader Kim Jong-un, reported state media. The show of military strength comes days before the inauguration of Joe Biden as U.S. president. It also follows a rare political meeting where Kim decried the U.S. as its country's biggest enemy. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Australia rebukes Google for blocking local content. Indonesian earthquake, Sulawesi hospital among the collapsed buildings. North Korea unveils new submarine-launched missile. And that was the world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In development news, the Department of Examination has released the cut-off marks for the Grade 5 scholarship examination, which was conducted recently. Accordingly, the minimum requirement to enter Royal College Colombo is 193 marks. The cut-off marks to enter Visakha Vidyalaya is 194, and for Devi Balika Vidyalaya, it is 191 marks. The cut-off to enter Kandy Dharmaraja College is set at 182 marks. That was the development news, and now we move on to sports news. Joe Root's first Test century since November 2019 has helped England to tighten their grip on the second day of the first Test in Gaul. Root went through 2020 without a century. The first time in his Test career, he has gone through a full year without one and dropped out of the top 10 in the ICC batting rankings in the process. And moving on to the scoreboard, Sri Lanka batted first and made 135 in their first innings. In reply, England were 320 for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of the second day's play of the first Test being played at Galle International Cricket Grounds. Tomorrow is the third day of the Test match. That was the sports news, and on to business news. HMB Assurance PLC, together with its fully owned subsidiary, HMB General Insurance Limited, has surpassed the 10 billion rupee mark in terms of its turnover for the year ended 31st December 2020. The company is a leading life insurance provider. Chief Executive Officer of HNBA and HMBGI, Prashant Fernandez, said that HMBA Group kick-started the new year with its remarkable achievement under its belt despite the impact of the ongoing global pandemic. The group was able to achieve this milestone in terms of its gross written premium as a result of a well-curated business strategy, service excellence, product deliverables to suit the needs of the customers, and efficient claims settlement process, all delivered by a team of happy and motivated employees. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Economic News, courtesy of...
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And in economic news, Ferentino Tyre Corporation opens its region's largest tyre manufacturing plant yesterday. The factory was opened by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in Horana. Commentators say that this opening will act as a landmark in the industrial history of Sri Lanka. The first tyres produced by this factory will be available from the end of this month. Tyres produced will be for cars, three-wheelers and motorcycles. The other types of tyres will be introduced by the end of this year, an official of the company said. Minister of Industries Vimal Veeravansa said that the factory will help Sri Lanka to move to self-sufficiency in tyres and save $25 million per year. That is economic news, and the weather report to conclude.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah.
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And finally, in weather report, the Met Department says showers will occur at times in the northern, north central, eastern and over provinces. Fairly heavy falls, about 50 millimeters, can be expected at some places. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places elsewhere after 1 p.m. Fairly heavy falls, about 50 millimeters, can be expected at some places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Kurunegala district. Showers can be expected in the southern province during the morning hours too. This weather report was released this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The President emphasizes the importance of introducing an education method with the sole objective of establishing a technically equipped skilled labor force in the country under the new normal condition. Sri Lanka expects around $5 million income from the gem and jewelry industry within the next 4 years. It is reported that the 2-month-old infant who died at the Mathura Base Hospital has been identified as another corona victim. Sri Lanka's confirmed COVID-19 cases cross 51,000 mark. Sri Lanka reports 512 more COVID-19 recoveries. Record-breaking day for Colombo Stock Exchange. In news overseas, Australia rebukes Google for blocking local content. And in sports news, timely Joe Root century sees England tighten their grip. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. And now it's back to your Friday evening host and my two lovely friends on the other side of the glass panel, Indrani Senanaka, who is saying hello to me, and also to Victor Raj. Definitely to keep you entertained. Over to